and welcome to Rhinofeed. Today I'm going to review the KBT Race 2, which is another keyboard from Vortex. They sent this out to me for review, and I very much thank them for that. So if you haven't seen my unboxing video already, I'll go over everything that was included. First thing you'll notice is a Chinese user manual. I will post the English version in the description so you can check it out. There's a lot of programming features on this keyboard, and it's very easy to use. Next up, you'll find a squirrel keycap. Then you'll also have a 1.5 mini B to standard USB cable. And the keyboard itself, which is already on display here. So the particular switches I got were Cherry MX Browns. The other options are Cherry MX Blacks, Blues, and Reds. So there are two color options on this keyboard. This one has white LED backlighting with black keycaps and case. They also have another version with green LED backlighting and a white case, which is probably going to be a very popular option. However, I read another review and the white case does not match the keycaps perfectly, so keep that in mind. I actually picked this model because it matches my keycool perfectly, so I can have the keypad on the right side, my mouse in between, and, well, white LED backlighting and black keycaps. It's quite cool. So let's go over the layout. It's a 82 key, 75% keyboard. So it's right between a 10 keyless keyboard and a 60% board. But it includes dedicated keys F1 through F10, delete, your navigation keys, so home, page up, page down, end, and also your arrow keys. For a size comparison, the Poker 2 is a 60% keyboard. I have that right over here. And the Race 2 is just one key width wider and one key width taller. So if you're already used to the Poker 2, you're really not going to notice the difference in size on your desk. The dimensions are 12.2 centimeters this direction, 31.2 centimeters the full width, and 4.2 centimeters from the bottom to the top of the keycap. Now, the only downsides I can find to this layout are the smaller right shift key, which I noted in my unboxing. It's a 1.5 key size. The location of the FN key, which is at the very top, I prefer it to be at the bottom, somewhere around Windows key area. And also, it's going to be a little tricky finding replacement keycaps, as delete, escape, and shift, and your arrow keys, they're all 1.5 key sizes, especially if you want printed keycaps. I talked to Vortex about this and they will be releasing a PBT model of this, so I would pick that one up over this, even though it doesn't come with backlighting. Speaking of backlighting, there are 7 levels of brightness. You can adjust those by pressing FN, C, and B, and it gets extremely bright, so I tone it down a little bit for the camera here. The keycaps you get with the backlit model are UV-coated ABS, which are very common among backlit keyboards. Actually, my Keycool has the same exact keycaps. However, these are extremely smooth. So even smoother than the keycaps found on my Keycool, even though they're the same technically. I prefer a grittier or sandier texture to my keycaps, as I'm used to PBTs on my Poker 2. So, like I said, I would get the PBT model, wait for that, and you'll probably be happier. Let's go over the function layer here. At the very top, you have F1 through F6. Those are your media keys. I noticed one thing missing on the F1 and F2 keys, however, and that's the side printed icon of mute and volume up. I think they just forgot to add that when they were manufacturing it. Also, F9 and F10, there's no dedicated F11 and F12 keys, so you have F11 and F12 underneath those. Under delete, you have insert. There's a calculator key under backspace. There's print screen, scroll lock, pause. Here's your time delay keys for programming, your backlighting adjustments, your app key, which is also known as a context menu key. Other than that, I want to mention one little thing, and that's the dedicated toggle key here, which if you have a programmed layer such as Dvorak, that will permanently enable that programmed layer, so you don't have to be pressing PM plus whatever key you programmed. Now, I don't like the placement of the function key at the top here. I prefer it to be near the bottom, near the Windows key here, on the left or right sides. And the cool thing is they added a dip switch to the bottom. So if you turn on dip 1, that will disable your Windows key and put a function key there instead. A couple small things I want to mention before the big difference between this keyboard and the Poker 2. You have a removable cable here, as you probably already know. Just wanted to mention that. Also, there is 6 key rollover, not unlimited key rollover. For some people, this is a big deal. For me, it really doesn't matter. I notice no difference between the two. Now, the biggest difference. This has no plate, which is unusual. Some people will like this, as you can swap out switches to different things if you're good with soldering. And if you're traveling, this is 2 ounces lighter, so it does make a difference there. It is beneficial to have no plate in some instances. For me, I haven't really soldered too much yet. I would like to someday in the future. The problem is, with the combination of ABS, no plate, and a plastic case, it doesn't give you the most solid feel when typing. And it's a good feel, much better than rubber domes, but I just don't prefer it because I'm used to a Poker 2 with a metal case, PBTs, and a plate. So I really miss that. So on the very bottom of the keyboard here, you will find 4 rubber pads to prevent it from slipping around on your desk. And it doesn't, even though it is light. So that's cool. Your dip switches are right over here. You have 4. The first one, like I said before, your left Windows key becomes a function key. Dip 2, the caps lock swaps places with the left Windows key. So obviously you can't have those both at the same time. Dip 3, function P becomes home, and home becomes print screen. So if you ever want to print screen without having to press the function key, you have that option, which I think is unusual. They included that, but it's there nonetheless. Dip 4 keeps the entire caps lock key backlit with a smaller second LED to indicate when caps lock is on. So for instance, if you have the backlighting on here, I've actually enabled that. This caps lock key will remain backlit. And then when you enable caps lock, you have that secondary LED. If you disable dip 4, this is the way it comes by default, the caps lock key will not be backlit at all. And when you enable caps lock, it does not have that secondary LED lit up, but the first LED. Now I want to give you a demonstration of programming. So it's very easy, almost exactly like on the Poker 2. First of all, you press your P mode, which is function and the right control key. So you're entered into programming mode. That's flashing. You press the key you want to program, so that stays lit up. You say, hello, you're programming content essentially. You can do any function layer as well. Then you hit, I think you hit that again. Okay, and then you can program another key if you wanted to right after this. If you don't want to, you can do function right control. And there's another little nitpick. Right after you're done programming, the backlighting turns off for some reason. I don't know why. But now that you have that all programmed, you can just do PN plus your programmed key and it will automatically show on display there. Super easy, and the biggest difference between this and the Poker 2 for programming is every single key supports 64 characters. The Poker 2 only supported 14, so you can do a lot more with this. And everything is saved on board to the keyboard. There are no drivers needed. You can bring it, use it on your Mac, Linux machine, everything will work perfectly. It's pretty awesome. Alrighty, so that about sums up my review. Thank you very much for watching. Also, give my sound test a listen and my written review a read. I have some great photos in that, actually. Also, thank you to Vortex for sending this out for review. And that's about it. Please share it if you have any friends that are in need of a keyboard this small and compact. And as always, thank you very much for subscribing, commenting, rating, and all that fun stuff.